Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us today for the How to Create a Following webinar. We are totally pumped to be doing this today, and we will dive right in because we know that your time is very, very valuable. If you're coming in a little late, or if you are just watching this at a later time, we will record this and send it out so that you can see it. So thank you for taking a couple of minutes and going over it with us today. So, how to create a following. It's what people want. They want more people, more customers, more fans. And if you don't know a little bit about us, we've been able to grow Patch into quite the power. And we've done that in a short period of time. And we're going to tell you about the 3 things that we've done to do that in a very quick amount of time. Sorry about this bar right here. Not sure why we can't get it to go away, but it won't take away from the show, promise that. And so we started Hatch about 4 years ago off of a very simple idea to connect other entrepreneurs with other entrepreneurs. And we've been able to grow that to something that is very much becoming a juggernaut in the Norfolk area. So we've spent thousands of hours, tens of thousands of hours, and thousands of dollars testing what works and what doesn't. And today we're going to share a couple of those things with you, 3 things that worked for us that may work for you. And so remember, we spent thousands of hours and thousands of dollars so that you don't have to do those things. You can take what we've done and you can use it, literally copy everything that we do and use it for your business day-to-days. And so why should you listen? A little bit about me and why I'm the expert in this. I started my first company at the age of 10. It was a guy in a rake where I went door to door, and my target customer was people that had lawn maintenance needs. They had long grass, or they needed their shrubs cut. Maybe it was a snowy day and they needed their driveways to be shoveled. And I did that at 10 years old. Then I went on to coach a swim team and managed hundreds of families each and every year. And then I started a swim team. I then grew up through the Domino's Pizza ways, went to West Virginia University, and then ended up at CBS in Norfolk, Virginia. I then grew an agency from a couple $100,000 to a couple $1 million, basically 200,000 to about 1.4 million in 14 months. And then has started these small little meetups and turned them into big powers like Start Norfolk, Hatch, which is what we're focused on now, and recently put on our version of the State of the Union, or the state of your city's address, and recently have been named, actually several times been named, an expert by media. And you can find us an Entrepreneur Inside Business, Virginia Pilot, Inc. magazine, and several others. All right, let's dive into this. We've helped over 300 companies grow and validate, start, and grow their businesses. And you are probably one of 2 people in this. You're either new to this game, you're starting your company, or you have your company up and you're wanting to grow quicker. So there's 3 ways that you can create a following. And these are all 3 things that we have done and continue to do throughout time. Number 1 is ask Hatch questions. Number 2 is meetups. And number 3 is inventory. Everything that we will share with you, we have done ourselves. We've tested it and it works. We are not in the business to read a book and then try and share that story with you guys. These are the things that we use, and we use on a very, very often basis. Tonight, we're doing a meetup ourselves. All right, ask Hatch questions. Now, if you're taking the course, you saw that we asked that you ask kind of your networks what's going on. And so we've gone to social medias and basically just ask, what questions do you have about the specific topic? Now, it can be anything from, in our case, it's usually business topics. So what do you have questions about in business? Or maybe you're creating a bakery website and you're asking other bakers, what are the problems that you're having in your day-to-day bakery problems? Or maybe you're in fitness and you're trying to figure out where some of your pains are that people are going through, and then you can address those questions to those people. And so you create that opportunity for them, you answer their questions, and then what's great is, so this is one of the pages we have right here. So it's just a simple page, and we do a video shoot for it. We collect information from the people. So we say, what's your question? And then what's your email? So that we can then provide them with the link to the answer afterwards, and so that their peers can learn from them as well. This is something that cost us absolutely nothing but a little bit of time. And so you could shoot this on your on an at-home camera. You could do it on your cell phone. You could do it from your camera on your computer, whatever it may be. It's very easy and very cost-effective to do this. As you can see in here, we have many. We've done 6 episodes of this, and we've answered about 30 questions. And so that's 30 more people that we're potentially starting to funnel down into our process to get them to become customers. And so we'll ask questions like, how do you get press? What organization should I own? What website domain should I own? We've answered a ton of different questions in that. And so it's really exciting for us to find people that are looking for answers instead of waiting for those answers to come. And so we collect a ton of data from them, we follow up with them, and then it's also an opportunity for us to get back that information to them. Real quick, if you've come in a little late, we will be recording this and send out the link at a later time so that you can watch the entire thing, or you can share it with your friends if you want as well. All right, number 2, meetups. We talked a lot about meetups over the years, and it's without a doubt the #1 thing that's been able to grow us and create a following. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, I'm not really interested in the meetup world, or I don't have an office space, or I don't have the opportunities to do that. Well, this is probably the single easiest way for you to get as many people to look at you as an authority or an expert, even if you're not. You've heard the term fake it till you make it. When we first started this whole thing, we totally were faking it. We had no idea what we were doing, but we knew that if we asked questions from people who had been there before, we had a shot to learn from them. But we were good at putting on events. And so we would bring people to our office. The first meetup was about 4 years ago today, actually, maybe. And we wanted to bring together other entrepreneurs so that we could learn from them, learn from their mistakes, learn from their positive stuff. And so reached out to several people and said, hey, we're putting on an event. We'd like for you to come, and we're just going to learn from each other. It's kind of like an entrepreneurial mentorship session. And what was great was we said, we'll buy a case of beer and you'll come and we'll see what happens. So we had no idea what was going to happen. I actually wrote a speech. And if you've ever followed me, I've actually posted this speech at a later time. I don't really like to write speeches, so it's pretty funny that I did it. Never gave the speech. And about 3 hours into it, we had to kick people out of the office because it was going so well. So you start with a niche meetup. So find out who that target is and give away something for free. In this case, it was beer. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be something tangible like that. It could be a piece of software if you're a software company. It could be a giveaway. It could be many different things. Collect an email from those people. Meet everyone there. And here's the key: don't talk about sales. This isn't a sales meeting. This is what makes you different. If all you do is go there and talk about what your company does, people are going to get angered at that. People are not going for that reason. So you want to not talk up sales. Instead, you talk about some sort of educational piece. You'll follow up with them at a later time, and you promote next events, reinforce the topics that you talked about, and provide the links that people can get that information at a later time. Like this webinar could be a meetup. And your hope is to educate potential customers. Here's a great idea. We just talked about the Ask Forum in the first part of the following. Well, why don't you take that data and use that and create a webinar out of it, or an event or a meetup out of it? A meetup is the same thing as a webinar. It's just one's digital and one's in person. You could also do one of those Twitter chats or something like that. You want to create a higher barrier to entry, though, so that you can start funneling these people down to figure out who is serious about potentially becoming your customer without you actually trying to sell them anything. Why? Because those people that are willing to take those steps to go down that funnel are more likely to become customers at a later time. And if you're at module 4 on the online course, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. All right, and number 3, or another example of an event, is coffee downtown. So roughly 60 weeks ago, we had 16 cups of coffee, or 16 pounds of coffee after an event, and we had to get rid of it, and we didn't know what to do with it. And so we decided to put on a once-a-week event, free event, no agenda, free coffee, and see what would happen. In the past, we've actually tried doing morning events, and we've struggled with them. So we tried again, and basically 10 to 15 people attend per week. We've invested, since the beginning, about $53. We figured out that each person costs us about 17 cents, and we converted that into over $2,000 in sales without ever pitching to the group, this is why you're here, this is what you're going to do. You allow those things to organically happen. When someone says, hey, I have this business need, then maybe you approach them with a solution that you have. But you're not going after them as a salesman. It's very different than probably your BNIs or your Chamber of Commerce's, but it's something that's worked very well for us. We try and create relationships with people instead of just immediately pushing them to the solution, because ultimately, if we don't ever do business with them, we don't want them to be mad at us for pitching something to them that they never want to use. I'd much rather create a relationship with someone than just immediately pushing to them. I mean, how many of you have been to an event and someone did was push to you? It's horrible, and it's something that can be quite the struggle. And finally, the business card inventory. Now, we're making a big assumption here that you guys have a collection of business cards. Let's say you don't have business cards. We're going to make the assumption you have a Facebook account, a Twitter account, or a LinkedIn account. Basically, we want to categorize all this information into 3 categories: hot, room temperature, and cold. And the goal is to pinpoint targets and develop relationships from there. So you have an inventory of information from people that you've met with throughout the years, whether it's on Facebook, actual physical business cards, LinkedIn or Twitter, or maybe it's other kind of social as well. And basically you're saying, okay, if I'm providing this product, I believe that this person is going to be someone that is probably could potentially buy my product. Then there's a secondary category of maybe, and then the cold, the people that are definitely probably never going to buy. And it's not that you'll never create a relationship with them, but you kind of put that category to the wayside. And so you focus on the hot, and then you have a detailed list of people that you can start reaching out to and say, do you have questions for us? Can we provide you educational content, et cetera, et cetera. And so real quick, if you guys have any questions throughout time, these are the 2 ways that you can contact me right now. Here's my cell phone right here. You can call me today, 757-295-8635. Hopefully I don't get too many calls from the spammers. Just kidding. And then my email, Zack@hatchnorfolk.com. So you guys are taking the course right now. Hope it's going great. We've had a ton of people go through it so far. We just launched it. We have about 44 people who have already signed up for it. We're giving away the first 100 for free. So if your friends know, if you have some friends that might be interested in it, please send them the link. We're going to do 2 more webinars over the next few days. So be ready for it. We're going to do one on how to take your content and turn it into sales, and then why your company can be a 21st century juggernaut. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any time at the two contacts provided. And I'm looking forward to answering your questions and seeing you guys continue growing your businesses. So we like to do our webinar really short, sweet, and to the point. And so just to reiterate, this was how to create a following and meetups, ask, and business card inventory. We hope you guys learned a lot, and looking forward to having you guys continue growing and starting your businesses. Take care.